Dear teachers, imagine this. You prepared your lesson so well and you wanted to give your best in a classroom and you are hoping that your kids would love your teaching today. But the moment you enter into a classroom, you see the discouraged students. You see them that they are not at all paying attention to whatever you are saying. And when you asked about the previous topic, they couldn't even recall a single word, right? How do you feel? You lose your patience, and next what would happen? All that shouting, screaming and everything will start. How many of you have experienced this situation? I have experienced. So in this video, I am bringing out the most 3 powerful situations where teachers lose their patience, and actually in these situations we lose our mind and we don't even think what have to be done, and we become clueless. So those situations I am bringing in front of you, and I will tell you why does those situations happen, what are the reasons behind them, and what are the practical ways and ideas that we can implement in a classroom so that we can take the entire class into our control. And here is a small note I am giving you all guys. The third situation that I am going to tell you will shock you, and nobody will talk about these situations outside. Okay, very few teachers will talk about this, and today I am talking about that situation. Okay, so watch the complete video and definitely you can resonate with at least one point and tell me which is the point, which is the situation that you resonate the most. And also do let me know in the comment section which was the most uncomfortable situation that you faced in your classroom that made you go out of your mind. Okay, so let the comment section be a discussion forum, because so many teachers are there in a community, and definitely there you find a one teacher that can give a best suggestion to the problem that you have typed into. Okay, so let it be a community of motivating teachers. Okay, yeah. Coming to the first situation guys, like I already said you in the beginning, you prepared your lesson so beautifully and you entered into a classroom with full excitement to bring that topic in front of children, but the children look, confusing. The children are with low energy and the children are not at all paying attention to whatever you are speaking. Okay, so what is the reason behind this particular situation guys? So this might shock you, but do let me know how many of you will agree to this point. Okay, because I am telling this out of my experience, and I have also done the research regarding these kind of teacher frustrations. Okay, so now I am telling you a actual scientific reason behind your frustration in this situation. See, the major reason is your expectations. You actually entered the classroom with very high expectations, and children did not meet your expectations. They couldn't behave as according to your expectations. Okay, it is not the problem with the children, it is the problem with your over expectations. Okay, please don't expect something in your mind and then enter into a classroom. And my suggestion here is never enter the classroom with high expectation that children would love your teaching today. Okay, so your expectation is the major culprit for your own frustration. It is not children. Actually, what must have happened to children? You are dealing with only one subject. Okay, you are into only one area. You only think about your subject, your topic, your work, that's it. But the children are getting exposed to 6 other subjects. Okay, what must have happened here was, what if the children have just entered the classroom after a PE period, or he must have faced a very tough maths class before, or he must have faced a social class before, or he must have been in some other mood, or if it was a first class or the first period, you don't know what happened in his house. Okay, he must have fought with the parents, or he was feeling very low that particular day, or his mood was not good. If he or she was a teenager, maybe they are running with 101 thoughts in their head. You just don't know what the fight going on in that child's mind. Okay, right? So it is not the children problem, it is our expectation problem. Okay, how many of you will agree to this point? This is actually the scientific and psychological reason behind this situation, guys. So try to understand. So now the biggest question mark is, okay, we understood the reason, but how to overcome this situation? Okay, so how can we stay patient, right? Very simple, guys. Number one, please get rid of expectation. Don't expect that children have to listen to you all the time. And number two, okay, the moment you enter the classroom, just stand at the center of the class, roam around the benches, okay, roam around the benches, stand there for 30 seconds somewhere in the middle of the classroom. Just look at everybody's face silently with a calm face, okay, with a calm mind, and just smile randomly with 3 to 4 students here and there. Okay, this is my first tip. So here you are giving some time for children to get settled. Okay, what many teachers do is, even if they are experienced, I have seen them standing only near the board, okay, or they will stand behind the table or behind the chair. Okay, so they don't leave that area, whatever the space allotted for a teacher, no, they most of them will not come out of it. I have observed this. Okay, so please, the moment you enter into the classroom, don't stand near the board. Please stand right in the middle of the classroom, look everybody silently, and randomly smile at 3 to 4 faces. Look all the corners and smile randomly. Okay, so that gives relaxation to your mind, and that creates comfort in the children's mind. Okay, so the children will get some time to come into your topic, your class, and your mood. Okay, so this is one practical tip, guys. And later, so the moment you enter into the classroom, don't start with your topic. I know most of you will not start right away with your topic. You will try to recall the previous class topic. Yes or no? So many teachers, 99% of the teachers, they will try to recall whatever happened in the previous class. But how do you recall is the question mark. Okay, right? And most of the teachers will ask this question. Okay, children, what did we learn in the yesterday's class? That's a common way of asking. There's no excitement, there is no curiosity in that, isn't it? So instead of that, and let me tell you one fact here also. The child will not remember whatever happened yesterday. Immediately he could not recall. Like I told you, his mood can be different before you entered into a class, right? So just now he came to your mood, and now, immediately they are not capable enough to recall everything. Okay, so don't expect them to tell everything, and you expect them to tell everything, and later you will get depressed because they did not tell anything. Okay, so again you will get into frustration and you will shout at them. Please, okay, you only try to recall whatever happened yesterday. Okay, or you can ask this, yesterday we have discussed 3 important questions. Can you at least tell me one important and interesting point that happened yesterday? That is how you can start. Okay, so start with a question, right? You give a clue what happened yesterday. This 3 things must have happened. So which was the most interesting thing that you found? Okay, so ask a curiosity question that can help you out, okay, based on the yesterday's topic. Or another advice that I give you is, you ask a question relating to yesterday's topic and you give 2 options. You only give the answer, okay, but give it in 2 or 3 options. Okay, so this is the question, right? You have answer in 3 options. Can you all tell me which is the option correct? Okay, which is the correct option? That is how you can ask, because the children always loves to predict. Okay, in fact the human brain loves to predict. Prediction is a very good quality of human brain. So here when you give options as answers, okay, so they will love to predict it. Okay, right? So this is another approach where you can begin the class, right? So that's how you can handle the situation 1. So I think this was helpful for you. If it was helpful, type helpful in the chat section. So this is all about situation 1, guys. Hope you loved all the points, and tell me which was the point that you loved the most, and which was the point that you felt new, and which is the point that you will right away implement in tomorrow's classroom. Okay, so thank you so much. And now moving on to situation 2. So this is a very common situation, guys. Say you teach something and you made something wrong on a board and student identifies the mistake. Most of the teachers, when student identifies the mistake, you know, if it is an experienced teacher, they can handle the situation very calmly. They will say that, okay, it's a good catch or something like that. You know, they appreciate the child. That should be the approach. Most of the fresher teacher feel that the situation is very much shocking, embarrassing, and they think that as though they are losing their respect and authority in front of the children. But it is not like that, guys. Okay, right? So here the child is not pointing out your mistake. He just wanted to show that excitement of rectifying your mistake. Okay, so there the child actually seeks appreciation. So you have to appreciate in those situations, because mistakes will happen everywhere and it is common with everyone. Okay, right? So we are also humans after all. We cannot be a perfect teacher, and don't expect and don't go for perfection, guys. Okay, it's always a gradual improvement that we need to focus on. Okay, so mistakes do happen, and give the opportunity for a child to identify and take that situation as a chance to appreciate that child. Okay, of course most of the teachers will deal this situation calmly only, right? But I have seen some of the teachers, they scold, or they feel themselves very low and they feel as though they are unworthy and all of that. Okay, and now what is most interesting is, like I said in the beginning, the third situation, guys, the most embarrassing situation for a teacher. Actually, I faced this situation in the initial years of my teaching, and I am telling you how I overcame it. Okay, and you can also share what will you do in those situations and how did you overcome. So give suggestions to the new teachers who are there in the field. Okay, so what is the situation? So you are explaining a topic, suddenly you realized that you are explaining the topic incorrectly. So there is a difference between making minute mistakes during topic explanation and presenting the topic incorrectly. So there is a difference here. Mistake we can rectify then and there, even the child identifies. Okay, we have to react calmly. That's what I said before. But here what am I talking? Presenting the topic incorrectly and making children confused. Okay, so that is what I am talking here. So you explain the topic incorrectly and now the whole class looks confused. That is the situation, guys. How many of you have faced this situation? I'm damn sure everybody would have faced this situation. So I will tell you, in those situations most of the teachers feel very, very embarrassing. Okay, so they feel very low. All of a sudden their confidence becomes less, and they will have zero confidence. Okay, most of the times. And you know what, inside the teacher they feel worry, they will have a self-doubt and they feel fear of losing authority. Okay, right? In those situations actually most of the teachers will rush the class. I mean, they speak too fast. Okay, just to hide that, and they won't even reveal the classroom that they are explaining it wrong. Even if they know that the topic is wrong, they will proceed, okay, too faster, and they will immediately try blame on a child taking some situation, or when they observe that the children are getting confused, and they would say, why are you looking like that, why are you getting confused, this is such a simple topic, can't you understand that much, or you are not getting this because you guys don't have basics, you don't revise the previous class, that is why this has become very difficult for you. These are the things they will tell, okay, right, in the classroom. But this is a very, very, very wrong way of doing, guys, okay. So what you have to do in that situation is, instead of blaming yourself, first you remove that negativity in your mind, that whether you are losing authority, okay, what if the children laughs now, what if they go outside and tell to other teachers, what if they complain to a principal, okay, so what if they complain to a parent, okay, please remove all those fears from your mind, okay. So that is number one. And stop the topic. The moment you felt that you are explaining it wrong, it is going in a wrong way, please stop then and there, don't continue, okay. Stop there and tell them, oh, I must have confused with 2 or 3 topics here, I must have mixed 2 or 3 topics here, and that's why it is not going further. Let me take some time and rectify. This is what I learned to tell, okay. So initially I used to get embarrassed, but later this is how I started telling, okay. I must have mixed 2 or 3 concepts here, okay. Give me little time and let us rectify this, okay. That is one way. Or you can say, see, this topic is very, very tricky in this chapter. Look at here, even I got confused because it is tricky. I prepared it and I wanted to present in a very simple way in front of you, but somehow it got mixed up and it got messed up. Let me deal with it by taking some time. Okay, this is another way of approaching it. Or you can tell, okay guys, can you identify what went wrong here, because you already know the fundamentals behind this, no? So what must have gone wrong? You also observe here what can be the next step, you can make children only to partner with you, okay. If some intelligent guy is there, definitely they will identify, or they'll give suggestion what can be the next, okay, right. So you can include the children only here to solve your problem, right. So what I tell you is, stop and take time, deal with it patiently, and then after taking some time, if you get the point once again, then continue it. If you are not getting that point, even after thinking for some time, you stop it, you admit that it cannot be solved in this class, okay, it has become very, very tricky, no, let me find out another way of explaining it in a simple way tomorrow, okay. Let us get back to the same topic tomorrow, and meanwhile you also read the textbook, you also study the concept and come out of different ways of explaining it, okay. So tomorrow I will come up with much easier explanation on this. So today let us learn something else. Let us work on the fundamentals behind this, okay. Let us recall the previous class concept only, okay. So that is how you can engage the classroom on that particular period or day, okay. Or if there is lot of time, then you can just ask some random questions, or you can make them read a paragraph which is there in a textbook, or you can do some activity, some fun activity to change their mood, okay. So actually this is how I will approach, guys, okay. So the same thing I told you. So but what I highly recommend you is, please don't be guilty of making a mistake, okay. Mistakes everybody will make. Even I have made so many mistakes while recording a video, because I will stay alone, only camera and me, okay. So actually in the offline classroom there would be students to rectify our small mistakes, but in the online recording format nobody would be there to rectify the mistakes, no. I would go on teaching a concept, and somewhere here and there I must have confused, I must have interchanged certain topics, and all of that has happened. If you look at some of my videos, you will find some mistakes, but not major mistakes, maybe a minute mistake. And when viewers watch those videos and when they tell me that this is where you made mistakes, I always accept it. And you must have observed my first comment. If there is a mistake, I would have mentioned in the comment section that please in this point there is a mistake, please rectify, I would tell. Okay, so please admit to your mistakes. Okay, don't overrule the mistakes and proceed with your ego. Okay, so we all have to remove that ego, because we all are human, we do make mistakes, and the children will never think it in that angle. Okay, right? So they are very pure and they are very good at heart, they will understand you. Okay, and finally, one tip I would like to give you guys. You know, always the belief system and the behavior of the children can get framed by observing three people in their life. Okay, number one, parents, and number two, teachers. So you are like second parents for them, especially if you are teaching from nursery to class 10. I'm telling you, you are the second parents to those children. Okay, so you know, the children always observe first. Whatever you are doing, they will observe, and whatever they observe, no, they absorb. Okay, hope you know the difference between observe and absorb, right? So first they will observe everything, how you behave, how you are feeling, how you are talking, everything they will observe, and the same thing they will absorb. Most of the time, if you are irritated and frustrated in the class, the children also will become like that only in the classroom, and that kind of belief system you are indirectly putting into a child's mind, guys. Be very, very careful in your classroom. Okay, if you are getting frustrated, if you are going out of patience, please, with self-awareness, immediately you identify your frustration and come out of it by some ways. That is very, very, very important. Okay, this is important for all the parents out there, and this is important for all the teachers out there, because children first observe us, and later our behavior, our talking, our actions, our thoughts, everything they absorb and make it theirs. Okay, so very, very important. And if you want to learn the 21st century skills, okay, you know what, if you present your lessons engaging and attractive, okay, as according to the present generation, the kids will accept your mistakes, the kids will love, even if you are going out of control, even if you are losing patience, you know, the kids will understand you, guys. And if you want to make your lessons most engaging and attractive using digital tools, and if you want to communicate well with the student, okay, if you want to become a digitally strong teacher, or if you want to know the different ways of earning side income along with your regular teaching job, then please do attend my webinar. Okay, so it is my free masterclass for all the teachers. Register through the link that is given in the description as well as in the comment section. For any doubts, you can even contact to our WhatsApp number, which is given in the comment section as well as it is popping up.